Welcome back to another construct video, and in this video we're looking at how to add simple zooming in and zooming out. Now I've got this big level here, and the aim is for the player to collect all three boxes hidden throughout the level. Now I don't want it to be a case that the player has to struggle to find these objects. Instead, I want the challenge to be getting to them. I want to wait for the player to hold down a key and they see the whole map, and then they let go of that key and they're back into the game and they're looking for them. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is insert a new object. I want to grab a keyboard. This is what we're going to use in order to start zooming in and zooming out. We're going to go to our event sheet and we're going to add a brand new event, and we're going to use the keyboard. I'm going to check if a key is held down, and I'm just going to use Z for zoom. You can use whatever key you like and then just hit done. Action I'm going to add is a system action. Just going to scroll down and we're looking for set layout scale. Now this is set by 1 by default. If we increase this number, we zoom in. If we decrease this number, we zoom out. So I'm going to go 0.5 for my level. Now we also want to do the opposite. So if we're not pressing the key, we want to zoom back to normal. So I'll just set this one back to 1.0. So with that said, let's test it. Got my normal character, and I zoom out, I see a lot more of the level. Now the problem that we've got at the moment is it's taking the scroll to of the player as the central point to zoom out the camera, so we don't actually see too much of the map. So to fix this, what we're going to do is go back to our layout. We're just going to create a brand new object. So this is going to be a sprite. I'm going to call it middle cam. I'm going to click roughly in the middle of my level. I'm going to create just a little camera icon. And it doesn't matter what this looks like because it's going to be invisible for the level. That'll do for mine. So I've got it there. I'll resize it a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is do two things. First thing I'm going to do is make it initially invisible off, so it's not visible in our game. And the next thing I'm going to do is just add a behavior, and I want the scroll to behavior. Now if we run this on its own, we get this, and what it's doing, if you've got two objects with a scroll to position, it'll take the central point between both of those. We don't want that. But you'll see when we zoom out, it's now getting the central point again. We zoom out to still see the player. This is far more useful. So what we can do is hit the X, and we're just going to add to our event sheets, and we just want to say if we are scaling out, we want to make sure that the camera set enabled at the scroll to is set to enabled, and allow us to see the center point but zoomed right out. And if that's not the case, then what we want to do is actually disable this completely, like so. And this is a really clever way that you can do it where you want to show a point of interest. You can get the player to hold down a key. You can actually disable the scroll to behavior on the player. Now obviously this is something you have to be careful of, because again, if it's too far away, the player might not be able to be seen, but it's really good for points of interest. So let's run this again. And now when I zoom out, I get to see much further into the map. Final thing you might want to add, if I go to my event sheet again, if I rescale this out even further, so 0.3, and I zoom out once more, you'll see that I start to go off the screen. So one of the things I've started adding already, but I just need to make sure that I fill out, is just a border. So if I add the border on here, this is just another layer that's over the top, and I can take this layer and I can just zoom this right out on both sides. It just means that if we do get to the stage where the player is looking off the screen, they're not just seeing that ugly grey. We've got something that is built almost for a purpose. So obviously we want to try and avoid using that as much as possible because it looks a bit ugly compared to the rest of our level, but that's something you can do if you've got a zoom that zooms out quite a lot more. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what other stuff you want to see added to your own platform games. If not, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.